Alright, well, I'll just put it at 15 then. 15 frame rate.
I think that's what I put it as.
It's a tier list. Who cares?
Yeah.
Still loading.
They're not coming. Alright, I'm just gonna close everything else.
We're starting this thing, or
I mean, we're just waiting for Eli's screen to display.
Eli, when you go to screens, did you click on your tab? Like, what did you click to share the screen? You click share, you click screen, what else did you click?
I clicked share screen, stream quality. Alright, wait. Mine's just not going. Stream quality.
Oh, while I'm at it, like I can just like look up, like I'll look up franchise like series that we could just rank while we're rating.
maybe
Like, we can start with Crash. I mean, since I know Kevin did Sonic, but you know I kind of want to see Noah's ranking on the Sonic games.
yeah, me too.
Fair.
Yeah,
we
because
can do the same ones we did last time, but
Yeah.
this time people will see it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just see. Okay, I'll put Crash Bandicoot, Sonic, Mortal Kombat. What else? I can't rank Tekken because I only played like 2 Tekken games.
Fine. We can do Soul Calibur.
Oh, Soul Calibur would be. Wait, no, have you played Soul Calibur?
I played 2, 4, and 5.
Only two out of the 3 is worth playing.
Anyone? Mark, are you Dragon Ball fanatic or something?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. We could have done that.
Damn it!
Hey man, like if we do Soul Calibur, no one doesn't really have much to say. I mean, you guys can do anime, but I'll just be watching.
We can talk about like the.
Kill for kill, eye for eye, blood for blood, it's time to die. Retribution tastes so sweet. Consolate that he gave, now revenge is all I crave. Retaliation soon complete. I was nowhere, I had no one, I felt nothing. Lost without a voice and on my own.
That moment where you realize you were
A
muted.
moment.
Gotcha.
One
I hate when
moment.
that happens. But I'll say this again. What's up, Dom? Thanks for stopping by. I'm still going strong because I'm never gonna die. Anyway, tier list night. First, we're starting with Crash Bandicoots because obviously.
It's the one that basically brought us together in the first place, and I think it's probably the safest. I hope.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Alright. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to each game individually. We're going to first, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, go. We're going to put the game where we would put it, and then we'll have a little discussion about it. Once we're done yelling, we move on to the next game.
All right.
So in other words, each game will take an hour.
But, yeah, is everybody ready?
Yep.
Hold
Hold on.
on.
No, is your screen frozen?
No. I just haven't moved.
Oh, okay.
I can tell my screen is fine because I can see my mouse.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We're all
In
good.
15 frames per second.
It's fine. It's a tier list game. God.
All right. First game.
Is Eli ready now?
Okay. Wait a minute. Y'all can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
All right.
Wait,
This
this is going live. Hold on, I gotta do my makeup.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Please, oh my God.
Senpai.
Another. Whoops. Add a robot.
All right, that's just so that everybody knows whose screen is whose. Eli's is top left, Kevin's top right, bottom left, and Mark's bottom right.
Whoops. I'm trying to get these different color. Okay.
Are you trying to make your tier list pretty?
No, I'm just putting in a few more categories.
I heard colors, and I already know you're trying to make it pretty, Eli. Don't lie.
Alright, I think I should have all the categories I want. I have insanely perfect relics, platinum relics, gold relics, sapphire relics.
You are trying to make
Okay.
it pretty. I knew it.
Okay, no, I never played.
Actually, one other franchise we can do is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right. So first game we got is Crash Bandicoot: Wrath of the Cortex. 3,
All right.
2, 1, go.
It's not an A tier. I can tell you so much, but
Trying to decide if I want it in platinum or gold.
oh, go with B.
All right,
Yeah,
everybody
well, go.
chose B except for me. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting you guys to put it much lower.
I was
I think,
between B and C. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think there's some things about the game that has. I think there's some good things about the game, but then there are some horrible things about it too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my biggest issue with this game is mostly with the completionist, or just between how this game plays. So there are some stages in the game that are just like, you know how you complain about Warped having a shitload of vehicle sections?
Mm-hmm.
I think Wrath of Cortex has worse vehicle sections.
That
But-
may or may not be true. I haven't
Yeah.
nearly played. I haven't nearly played Wrath of Cortex as much as I played Warp, so can't really compare too much.
Wrath of Cortex has like this alien, like this like mechanical thing that like inspired from Alien, and
Yeah,
it controls like ass.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
and you know,
Are we
like from
talking
the
about it again?
beginning, like you see all the like the villains that you love and all that. They're not in like in the
They don't
actual
appear at
game.
all.
They all
Yes, they do.
Oh,
They're in the
okay.
car racers. They're in the airplane levels.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
background
but-
characters basically. Like they're
I'm
not
talking about
bosses.
Bosses.
Yeah, like they went from like the hypest shit from 3 to just jobbers.
Yeah.
True.
The one
But
thing
it did play fine though. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about it is that I actually did like how they treated the vehicles. They weren't except for a few, they weren't standalone levels. They were parts of the stage. Like the one of my favorite ones is that the first level in the second warp room where you're in this rainforest and then in the end you jump into the jeep
That
and
was
get
really-
chased by rhinos, or H2O where you start in that god awful submarine but then you transition into a really good platforming segment. While I think they control worse than Crash 3, I like them more here because it's not the whole stage.
I feel like the ones that are the whole stage are the ones that I dislike, ironically. I think the only one that I really ended up liking was the ball one.
Yeah, the ball one was great.
Ball was fine.
Alright, so
Alright,
It's
now
like
we
a-
have the insane
Yeah,
Yeah,
trailer.
Eli,
Oh.
by all means, you can
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, that's fine.
you can interrupt us and telling
Yeah.
us "fuck you," it's platinum.
It's fucking
well, I didn't know that was the nature of the
that's
thing.
S tier for sure.
I thought we were all like taking turns with our thoughts on the.
Oh, we're just
Okay.
going at it.
Well,
You got something to say?
so for me, Wrath of Cortex is like a pretty underrated in my opinion. I mean, I get the flaws. I mean, not the flaws. I mean, I get the complaints people have with it, like the whole. There's a lot of vehicle sections and controls. Kind of. Well, but maybe not controls. What am I? Or maybe it's a bit slower than Warp.
Oh yeah, it's oh yeah, the hanging, like the fucking
Oh,
the hanger
the
shit.
hanging, yes, the hanging.
Yeah,
That's-
Yeah.
like
yeah.
even with Aqua Mask, that shit is slow as fuck.
Mhm,
I don't think
yeah.
the mask
think-
makes
I
you
think
go
like
faster in this
10
game.
frames per second.
I think I think honestly my biggest problem with Wrath of Cortex actually comes around when you start playing the relics. I think that's when all the problems like really start to shine, because I think for the
Yeah.
most part it's like
But what Crash game doesn't have that problem?
I really enjoy-
there's a few that I actually
Mm.
think they're fine with the relics, but Wrath of Cortex is just not one of them. I think the Huge Adventure does well with the relics.
No,
But-
no. We'll get to that when we get to
We'll
that.
get to that when we get to that, but I think Wrath of Cortex like really shows its flaws when you have to do the speed running. But no, I don't think all the Crash games go to that problem. But yeah, there's just a couple of issues with Wrath of Cortex, especially when you have to speed run the levels. Considering how like even Aku Aku doesn't even speed you up that much.
It doesn't, no.
No, he doesn't.
It's like a
so,
5 out of 10 for me.
Alright, so we've set our
for,
piece.
It's a good game.
I still.
I think we all agree it's
Eli.
on B.
Go ahead, Eli.
We all have it on
Okay.
B.
So, yes, I really like the variety of locations that Wrath of Cortex has,
Mhm.
and I like the whole idea with the elemental mass. Even though I do think
Yeah, I
they
guess.
do the quantum mask a bit better in 4. I mean, the quantum mask are like a different like interpretation of the elemental mass, and
Yeah.
I think those two are a bit better. But I still like the elementals, and I still great voice acting for the
Yeah,
elementals.
the voice
I love
acting was
Mark Hamill as Pyro. That's great.
Yeah, we still can't
Mark
classic
Hamill,
Wrath
yeah.
of Cortex.
Yeah,
I think
and
passive though.
here's something we didn't mention. This game has an awesome soundtrack.
It does.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That
That
is
is true.
I like it.
Soundtrack is great.
soundtrack I think is what gives it a boost. So yeah, you know what? I am gonna keep it on B. I think the soundtrack is really good. It's one of my.
It is
I think
very solid.
it's like top tier. Like probably one of my favorites in terms of the music alone.
If I didn't
Mhm.
have a nostalgic bias towards 2 and 3 soundtrack, I would probably say Wrath of Cortex is better than those two.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think I
overall,
can agree.
I really enjoy Wrath of Cortex. I don't think it's as good as. I'm gonna say it. Not as good as like 2 or 3 at least, but still very
passable.
solid entry.
Yeah.
I'd play
No.
it again.
That,
It was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
what I want before
I
Crash.
do think it has good level design. But I mean, like good level design, especially for the walking levels and stuff.
Mhm.
I have maybe a few too many vehicles.
And despite like Crunch being like every single boss, it's still pretty fun boss fights, at least in my perspective.
I can
Especially
agree with
like
that.
No.
especially like the fire and the wind one.
I disagree.
Yes.
I think the
Like the
boss
wind
fights.
one's my
I
favorite,
actually did not like. I only liked the final boss. That was the only one I liked. I did not like any of
Fine
the other
final
ones.
boss. I liked it too.
Oh, yeah,
the
It's
final boss
my
is
favorite.
The first boss is okay.
I
The
didn't
second boss
hate
is
any
basically.
of them.
No, I didn't hate them. I just thought they were like poor man's version of the previous boss fights, except the first one, which is like the only No, the first and third one were the only original ones, but even then, I still think it's eh.
How's the final boss not original?
Sorry. Again, like I forgot to tell you that the final boss is like the only one that I really liked, and then the other four were eh. Sorry, the first three and then five were the original ones. 2 and 4 were like watered down versions of previous fights. More specifically, the Crash 3 fights.
You have
But
anything
that's
else
about
to
it.
add, Eli?
Jeez. Well. I mean, this was the first Crash game to have Coco playable and platformers,
That's true.
and sure, it's a bit disappointing that she's
Oh, it's
kind
three.
of limited, but huh?
I thought it was 3.
Oh,
Well,
3,
this
she...
is the first time.
You play as her in vehicles, but this is the one where you actually play as her in platforming levels.
Okay, all right. If we're going with that, then yes.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
if you view Coco as Crash Bandicoot 1 Crash, you
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
Yeah.
No slide jump, no sliding in general. Like, if you just treat
Mhm.
Coco like Crash did in Crash 1, you'll have a much better time with her.
Yeah.
Only problem is that Crash plays way better in the same game, so it's like.
I mean, that's fair, but you also don't play as Coco much.
Yeah.
Hey, you really don't actually. It's like only like once for
3-ish levels, 4 maybe.
4 or 3. Like no wait, like one in every. I think at least like one level in every warp room except
For
for
the first one.
the first one.
Yeah.
There's 2 for the 4th one too. Oh no wait, there's no Coco levels in the 5th one.
I was gonna say I don't remember it being the last one.
Yeah, but there was one
Yeah.
in the secret warp room.
Yeah, there is. Oh, actually, there's 2 in the secret warp room. Never mind.
Actually, I have a question. By the way, I have a question. How do I sound? Do I sound good?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not good too, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you sound perfect.
All right, cool.
All right, stop kissing each other's ass. We're moving on.
Finally.
All right.
Someone's
Yeah,
jealous.
9 minutes of Rafa Cortex. This is gonna be a long night. Anyway, the Insane Trilogy. 3, 2,
Hey,
1, go.
Boom.
Boom.
You already know. You already know it's the.
Mark, what the fuck?
Wait, let me see Mars.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Sorry, you scared the shit out of me. Hey,
No, I'm just joking. The only reason why I would go to A is because of Crash 3, but that's about it. But for the most part, I loved it.
Anyway, do we even need to explain why this game is so great? Like,
The only thing I could say is that it makes Crash 1 go from a good game to a great game.
absolutely.
It's
I know.
like like I said, the only thing that would bump it down to A tier is just how Crash 3 is handled. Because I'm not the biggest fan of this version of Crash 3, but
I'm just not the biggest
it's-
fan
I
of the
thought
jet
that's
ski
excellent.
controls. That's about it.
yeah, but like it's funny, like
I have
we
to
were.
admit that Jesse controls are a little delayed, but it's like
No,
something that
it's
you can
slippery
pull
as
off.
fuck.
Yeah, it's way like honestly, like
it's
you,
not slippery
you,
with me. It's
you
just
can shit. You can shit all you want about the jet ski levels in vanilla, but it was worse in the Insane Trilogy.
And not to mention Hot Cocoa in the Insane
Hot
Trilogy.
Cocoa is the worst fucking level in any Crash.
There's a drawback.
Um,
There's a drawback
It's
for
only-
each version of Hot Cocoa. You got the original that controls better, but you can't see anything because it's not programmed for long
seeing your
distance.
screen.
And then
Yeah.
See everyone else.
and then on the other side, you can actually see all the boxes through the horizon, but it controls worse.
Yeah, it's all you got to do is just cheat on the time trial on that one.
Also the time trial on Insane Trilogy, you can't like there was like a glitch with I think it was the TSC version where there were different times. It was like not the intended time limit to do the time trials on, so it was like
Only
really
one
easy to get the
thing to
platinum
say,
relic
play
and
it.
Hot Cocoa in the old one. But that's not the case in Insane Trilogy. You actually have to put effort into it for that.
We got Dikey in the chat saying, only one thing to say, play it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Insane Trilogy is just excellent. So many great animations. The voice acting is
Yeah.
really good.
Haven't we
It
all
looks
played?
like it looks
Haven't we all
beautiful.
played it though?
Almost everything about this game is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's
It looks beautiful. There are some things I think the
It's better than the
original
original
trilogy does do
trilogy.
a bit better,
Uh,
like in some areas. But
better.
I like
I think the
In some
first
areas,
and
yes.
second one are better, but not 3. I probably would play
Yeah.
the original 3.
Yep, same here. I agree.
I would guess. I mean, certainly Crash 1 is way better than like Insane
oh
Crash.
yeah,
1 is way
undoubtedly.
better. Like that I can definitely agree on. 2 and 3, I kind of go back and forth.
I mean,
I guess.
I play 3 more because I know of the new game
They're
plus
about the same.
glitch, but yeah.
I think I remember like this game like selling so many copies. Like I'm talking like
Oh, yeah.
over like,
Yeah, this
so
remake saved the franchise.
crazy.
yeah, it really
I
did.
remember,
Wow.
honestly, I think like the trailer for this one like shed a tear in my eye because it was like I've always wanted to see Crash. This is like we haven't had a good Crash or any Crash game like in fucking almost a decade at that point. Like literally
This
7
was
years because I
20
believe Magic Card 2 was the last one that came out. But it's like this is like what we all wanted basically.
This
wish
was
3 was
2017.
better.
Wonder Mutant came out in 2008. So yeah,
Night of Mutants was 2008, but Magic Card 2 was 2010.
and Nitro Card 2 doesn't count though. It's not a console game.
If it's in the list, then it counts.
That's
Yeah,
It's not gonna
but,
count
like,
for me. I haven't played it.
Like it doesn't count.
Whatever. Next game.
But
All
yes,
right.
I love Insane Trilogy.
yeah, and Central.
Man, like,
I love it. I love it so much.
If
I
you're a
have
Crash
both
fan,
PS4
you
and
like what the
Switch.
fuck are you doing? If you don't have this game, what are you doing?
Also, in response to
your ass.
Daiki's comments, in response to Daiki's comment, I'm pretty sure all of us have played the Insane Trilogy.
Oh
I've
yeah,
played it, like,
this is
numerous
like
times. I've
this is
played
the
it.
first game I've ever pre-ordered.
I thought you were gonna say this is the first game I've ever played. No
Yeah,
joke.
Of course.
Actually, I think I might have. That might be my first game I ever pre-ordered too.
I was that
might have
excited.
pre-ordered,
Nah, my first game was Kingdom Hearts on PS3.
I hate pre-ordering games, but like this was an exception.
I've like pre-ordered every Crash game since.
Now, shall we go? Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, we got our next remake, CTR Nitro Field. Ready, set, go.
Oops, I'm
Whoa.
just normal.
S tier.
Noah put it. Where did Noah put it? I
No,
gotta
you
see.
better not. Get it up there.
Yeah.
Well, I put in S tier.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was
but
gonna
just
say.
not aware of that.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second.
Second everybody's.
I had to think about it for a second because I did get burnt out for the game, but I'm trying to say to myself that's not the game's fault. That's just me playing a lot of the game.
Good.
So, yeah, I would put it at perfect. S tier.
Okay, so
Yes.
I think we all agree that this game was great, but like for me, let me just tell you this. Like for a while now, like I've always loved CTR, but it was never like my favorite game in the series. Like this in terms of the original or whatever. The simple fact is that I just don't like racing games. Period. I think it's my least favorite genre, maybe. Or I don't know, but like it's one of my least played genres. So when I got CTR, like I played it a little bit. I played through the adventure mode, but I was never like all hardcore. I would go for the shortcuts or whatever. I would just kind of play it normally. It wasn't until I started playing on Mr. Keepler chips over there, on his online sessions that my appreciation towards the game went from. I'm pretty sure it would have normally been an A tier game for me to like this is like my new favorite Crash game. I don't think sometimes a favorite game of mine would be like, there's this progression system, I guess you can say, where you feel like you're getting better at the game. Yeah. Whenever I feel that with certain games is like, that I'm starting to have like a big attachment to that. And that's exactly how I felt with this game. When I went through the time trials and then I got slightly better at the game, even though I'm always last place because fuck my life. But
I'm right there with you. I love the whole like this is like one of those games where it's one of those easy to play, difficult to master type games, which I really like. And
I think I like this more than Mario Kart also.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
oh,
not
yeah,
even
no doubt.
not even a fucking
This
contest.
blows that Mario Kart, any Mario Kart game out of the fucking water.
I agree.
Also,
Sorry,
the
Mario
fact that
Kart,
And I like,
but I just
I want to talk about how happy I am, like this game even is a thing. Like, trust me, I played the original again after I played this, and let me tell you, this plays way better than the original does. I didn't think that was even possible. How they do
I
that?
agree.
And it's like everything that I ever loved in the original is like right there, plus so much more. Like they give cutscenes to the boss races, like before you race them and
Komodo
after you
Joe
race
is
them.
so good. I love Komodo Joe's the most.
Like it makes you feel like a winner every time you beat a boss, and every time like you collect like a trophy or a relic, and especially the ghost trials. Like I never had so much fun in a racing game in my entire life until like this came about, and I played the original and Diddy Kong Racing, and it's like Jesus, like this was so memorable to me, and I'm very happy that I did a blind walkthrough of that game because I really want to experience it firsthand with everybody.
I did
also like just the roster in general. Like
Yeah,
this
the
isn't
fucking
Yes,
roster,
this
dude.
this
roster
isn't
is
even, this shouldn't even be called. This shouldn't even be classified as a remake because like not only did we get like because we got the same stages of the original, but we also got Nitro Kart stages as well as the characters from Nitro Kart. We got new characters, new
They had
stages.
Nitro Kart stages on here.
Yeah, like Nitro Kart stages and characters. We got bonus tracks. Like we got we
a
got
Spyro
characters
theme
that
track.
we had like Koala Kong and Brio are in this, and they weren't even in the original. They were held back
Yeah.
to Crash Bash, and it's like now they're in here, and as well as other characters, even more obscure
We have a
characters
fucking
that
box.
none of us.
We got
Great
Spyro in
one.
there.
The King
I love that
Chicken.
Spyro is playable.
Spyro's playable,
Love it.
although
We have
although
two
wasted
Rillaroos.
potential. Although wasted potential, you should have added Ripto and his henchmen instead of Nash
Yeah,
Nork.
instead of
Nork.
that's a misstep there. I mean,
That was terrible.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with that.
There should have
That's
been
fine,
there
I
should have been like a
Just go
season
along
2
with it.
of Spyro characters.
Yes, I would have loved
Yeah.
like Moneybags and Ripto,
Alora,
Laura,
the professor.
Bianca.
There's so many good Spyro characters. It's only a shame that they used 3 only, and one of them is not even all that interesting. It's probably my
Yeah,
least favorite villain.
One of the greatest. You know what? One of the greatest things also about this game, like this treasure
My
mine,
favorite character.
is like the fact that you can customize however you want, whenever you want it. Any shape or
Customization.
form in terms of like carts and paint jobs and your character skins and your wheels, and there's just so much shit going on, and you can change your style to anyone you like. It's not like Mario Kart where you have to like pick certain like parts and they like increase or decrease like your stats.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. The fucking class system. Like you can pick whichever character and pick what class you want. Like
Yeah,
Drift.
that's what every single racing game
Yep.
should be, and they should
Yeah.
take no. They
Yeah,
need
because
to do
it's
that
like-
all
Well,
the
at first
time.
they didn't do that. They didn't actually do that until.
No, they did, but they did it like afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Later.
the fact that you
But
can
it's
play
still
like
a
your
thing.
favorite. The fact that you can play your favorite character with whatever driving class is so good. Imagine if you had to, have your favorite character is Dingo Dial and you're stuck playing Speed, but you're like, what if I want to play Drift? I can't play Dingo Dial.
I will say,
Nope, but
I'm
now
a
you
Drift- I'm a
can.
Drift main.
You can now.
I pretty much play like no other class but Drift now. Like Drift's the only one I play.
Yeah, same.
And also, like Mark, as you said, I love the whole feeling. Like I love the whole feeling of like progression with the game. Like how I've gotten better and better at the game over time. Like if you go back and like watch my old like playthrough of CTR, it's like kind of. It's like and then you like compare it to like one of my later playthroughs, or like when I'm on Kevin's videos with the driving. It's like I do so much better than I did when I first
I don't
got
think I
the game.
even. I don't think I even drifted that much in the first parts that I was in. I don't think I drifted a lot. And I remember
I didn't know any shortcuts, and I didn't know like how like the mechanics worked as much. So
And I was like,
still
man,
learning.
like,
even though
it
I had
really-
played the original CTR, I played like the original CTR at least like 4 times or 4 or 5
Yeah.
times.
And it really like made me like this game really made me better at crash team racing than I've ever been in my life.
This is my
Because,
favorite racing game. Like
Oh, it's my favorite
Yeah.
racing game of all time. Like, it made me into a better racer. It made me
with
into,
Diddy Kong
like...
Racing close behind.
Right, exactly, yes. Diddy Kong Racing is second best. But
Mhm.
that CTR, though, like, I just feel so accomplished, like, when I, like, do ghost time trials after, like, hours and hours I put through it. Because it was so exciting when I, like, got to Oxide. Like, I beat all Oxide's Ghost. It is on YouTube, by the way, but, I promised myself I wouldn't do Velo trials, but I did it anyway because I'm stupid. But I did it anyway. I did it anyway, and it worked. It really worked. It went really well, actually, except like 2 tracks. That's it.
Do the dev trials,
I
Kevin.
still,
Do
I
the
still
dev trials.
do
Like,
like
I don't know. Velo trials were kind of easy there, except those 2 tracks. And by the way, those 2 tracks are Cortex Castle and Out of Time.
Yeah,
I
those
still haven't
Days
done
and
this.
weeks for
It's
me
like-
to take. Made me pull my hair out.
I think I've only done like half the Velo trials so far. I just haven't like done any in quite a while.
Oh,
because
it's so good getting that Velo decal. Oh
I
god.
still got to do the Oxide ones. I've just been lazy.
I'm not gonna
But-
do the dev trials though. No, way.
No.
I'm not gonna
No. I
Come on,
still
Ke- come on,
haven't
Kevin.
done the death trials, and I never will.
Come on, Kevin. That fucking Dikey's like,
We'll
you know,
leave- yeah, we'll
catching
leave
up
that
to
No,
us.
it still doesn't convince me. I'm not doing shit on that.
Like he's done them twice. Shout out
I'd
to
fucking maniac.
rather die.
Damn. Okay, I would much rather do the dev trials and die young. Jesus.
So the reason
Oh,
why
no.
the reason why I wasn't speaking at all is because I didn't want to sound redundant because you guys were all hitting all the beats. However, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. The one
Online.
bad thing about it.
The online.
Yeah.
That
Oh
The
yeah.
online.
I'm not even
online.
I'm not even talking about the online. That's another can of worms.
Oh.
I'm talking about the pit
Oh.
stop.
It's
Well, it's
Okay.
not
okay.
too
I
bad.
didn't have a problem with it.
No,
I didn't
no, no,
mind
no,
it.
no, no, no.
I think
The
I know what you
problem
mean,
with
though.
it is that
The
like
microtransactions.
well, no, I'm not even talking about the microtransactions. I'm talking about
Right.
like I want
I
this
know you
car
know.
and I have to wait and pray that it shows up. I still don't have the Cortex car from Tag Team Racing. I really love that car. I still don't have
That's
it
the
to
best
this
part in the
day.
game.
I
That's the
d-
best part in the game.
I know. I still don't have it to this day because of that stupid fucking pit stop.
Yeah, it's basically like it's basically the pit stop the pit stop like
Yeah.
thing. The pit stop thing is basically like just like designed for like
No, wait a
mobile
minute.
people.
No, you get the Team Cortex card by beating Komodo Joe or something. Or
No,
or-
no, I'm talking about the Tag Team Racing one that Cortex
Oh,
drives.
no,
The
never
purple
mind,
one
then.
with the white flames.
Right. No,
Oh, the
I thought you
detonator?
said
Yeah,
Nitro.
and
card, my
and
love that one.
Dikey said in the chat that
bad. No,
you
Tag
can
Team Racing.
now refresh the pit stop up to 3 times, but
Yeah,
but you still have to
2
be
times.
lucky that it shows up.
Two times actually.
2 times? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure it's 2 times.
Yeah. But even then, the next factor is getting the Wampa coins. If you don't have enough, you have to either bust ass to earn those coins on the weekend, preferably, or you have to shell out the money if you really want it.
Yeah, this is very like mobile gaming, if you ask me. Like
It's-
the fucking microtransactions.
I know you guys don't have a problem with it, but I think it's a pretty big problem.
To me, like
like
to me, the reason why it isn't a problem is because it's not a big. I don't give a shit about the unlockable. I already got all the characters. That's all I really care about. It's like
I agree
there's
that the
cars
characters come first, but if there's a specific
Yeah.
car that I want, I want the car. You know?
It's funny because I think the skins are the ones that intrigue me more than the vehicles themselves. If you ask me.
You know what? Piss me
But-
off.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
It all depends.
I did it like this. I did it like characters.
Just like no one decreased it to like
I'm fucking mad.
Characters, cards, paint job, and wheels, decals, legendary skins, and stickers. I guess. I don't know if I'm missing anything.
Stripe skin. Oh,
I still see that as a problem, but it's not a huge problem.
I think the online is the worst problem. Was the worst thing about the game.
oh yeah.
I think
It's the one only bad problem about it.
I
The
think
online.
if they did patch
total
that,
shit.
like I think if they did patch that and put like a ranking system, like the game
It
would
would have
be
no
it would
problems
have some-
left.
the game would have some longevity, but right now it's kind of a dead game.
All games to play would be.
It's not kind of. It is a dead game.
Yeah, I'm being nice, Noah.
All right, let's move on.
This is the greatest Crash game of all time.
All
Yeah,
right,
as of right now, I
Game
think.
of all time.
we are
Fuck
moving
It's in my top,
on.
it's in my top
Right.
5. I'll
To
move
Crash
on.
I'm treating
3.
that like my child.
We are moving on to Crash 3. 3, 2, 1, go.
OG Crash 3. All right.
Sorry, sorry, Noah.
Here.
Where are you? Okay, there it is. I was like, wait a minute. All right.
There you go.
Sorry, Noah. You're gonna hate me.
I don't. Yeah, sure. Why am I gonna
Yay,
hate
we
you?
did it, boys. We did it. Okay.
You're gonna hate me because you put it on S.
Oh well, I don't know, dude. Do you care if I put it on?
Thanks, Sean.
You
I
like
know
to
what I
like it.
eat. Trash. Anyway,
Okay,
Nice.
so Crash 3. Where the fuck do I begin here?
it's all right.
It is. It's.
I
alright,
really like it.
Noah,
It's
you
great. I think it's the best out of the original 3.
It's not
No.
alright, Noah. It's great. Shut up. Okay, let me explain why.
All right.
This game
It's trash.
has the best. Shut up. Has the best bosses in any Crash game.
Fair.
They're super fun. Like I think, and they introduced a bunch. They introduced 2 fan favorites, Dingo Down and Entropy.
Absolutely.
Like you have great. Like the game is not so much so platforming, but it's more like an adventurous appeal. And the fact that you're going back in time at seeing different time periods, I guess, is what makes the game like really shine in my eyes. The levels clean. I think the vehicles, although there may be a lot, despite the fact being experimentals, most and in my opinion, most of them, if in some cases might be considering all of them, actually play really well. Maybe the
Motorcycle.
vehicle, maybe the yeah, I was gonna say maybe the motorcycle might not be my favorites, especially going for the gems and crystals, but the rest of them work really well. And for the most part, like it's just a straightforward, fun game. You know, when you get power-ups in this one, you get the crash dash, which is exactly what you use for the fucking relics. Like, dude, like I played this game so many times as a kid. Like when I got like I've lost count with how many times I've replayed this game. It's like an addiction when I was young. But yeah, for a while this was my favorite Crash game. This was my favorite this was my favorite Crash game for a long ass time before CTR took it.
For me, Crash 3. Years ago, I would have said Crash 2 and 3 are like neck and neck, and I would give the edge to Crash 2 because I played it first. Nowadays, those vehicle sections really suck. Like, if it's not bad controls like the motorcycle, it's the quantity of them, like in the jet ski, where there's like 4 or 5. And the platforming stages are kind of inferior to the 1s and 2. I think the 2 platforming stages are a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think I can argue with that one. I think Crash
3
2
is
does
actually
much
the
better.
easiest in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Like besides, I mean, if you don't count the relics.
But yeah, but like Crash 3,
Without the
Crash
relics, the game
3,
is like super easy.
but I think Crash 3 definitely feels like is like the most straightforward Crash game, and I think makes it more accessible and just a more enjoyable game. But
I would
I do
disagree.
admit-
I think
I do
Crash
admit-
2 is more straightforward than
yeah,
3.
I was gonna say, but I do admit I think Crash 2 had the better platform. Like it was a better platformer overall. But the landscape and like the level environments of 3 is what makes it stand out to me.
Yeah, I guess I can say that.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. Whatever. I don't agree, but you know. Let me order it. I think I enjoy. I think I have a bias towards 3 to say that I kind of preferred over the entirety of the Insane trilogy. I don't know.
How about
There's some things I think that original Warped does better than Insane Trilogy. Like I do, like I think the soundtrack's a bit better. Like some of the, like some of the sound effects, like in the little vortex thing, like when someone's talking to you, it's like.
I think I'm more nostalgic to Crash 2 soundtrack though.
I'm nostalgic to both of them.
Yeah, no, I'm nostalgic to do both of them, and I would argue that I'm more nostalgic to 3. But I think when it comes to like giving me that nostalgic feeling, I think 2 does it better because like I think 2 has a better soundtrack.
Like I go back and forth between which one I like more. If I like 2 or 3, I usually say
soundtrack wise,
like,
I would say the same thing.
I do think 3 has better Well, okay. Yeah, it does have better boss fights than 2.
Yes, it does
Only
have
a
better
little
boss fight. Because if you're gonna tell me
Does, I
Tiny from
agree.
if you're gonna tell me Tiny from Crash 2 is better than Tiny from Crash 3,
Yes, he is
I still love
actually.
Crash 2 Tiny. I still love Crash 2
or
Tiny,
Engine
actually.
Engine
No,
from Crash 2 is better than Engine from Crash 3.
Not that
They're
one though.
both
No, I think two tiny boss fight is better than.
Thank
three.
you, Kevin. Get fucked, Mark.
I think they're both about the same.
You
I love them both.
And boss fight Engine 3 is definitely better than Engine boss fight 2.
I agree to that too.
yeah, but you're
I
shit.
mean, I
You
still
shit.
love
I may have, you may have Kevin on the you may have kept Kevin in this round, but wait till we get to Sonic.
Fair.
Did you notice
Oh
how
yeah.
Coco, did you
Oh
notice,
yeah.
anybody notice how Coco doesn't speak at all in Crash 3?
Yeah, she's a mute.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaks of, the only guys that speak are the villains. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and Aku Aku.
Something
Which
that I
actually, that
don't.
was the first time-
He's
that was the
secretly
first
the
time Aku
villain.
Aku ever
He's,
spoke.
he's secretly
He
the
never spoke in
villain.
the first 2 games.
Well, he did in the Japanese dub.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
was
say.
basically the Raiden of Crash.
Yeah,
Does he make
basically.
dumb
Because
decisions?
I like it.
Yeah, he makes
Except I
dumb
like Aku
decisions.
Aku.
just gets
He's sending
fucked
his
up
children to go back in time where the butterfly effect could happen.
He must win.
There
foolish
is
thought.
one thing. That'd be Uka Uka.
Oh, I
But,
love Uka.
Look, he's
Something
great.
I want to call
Oh.
the Sonic Colors effect with Crash
Wait.
3.
Oh,
Relics
no.
started in this game, and they never fucking went away.
Yeah.
Just like how the wisps
For
from
better or
Sonic
for worse.
Colors never went the fuck away.
Actually, they're not. They're not in Twin Sanity. Or in the.
They were gonna be. If they finished the game, they were gonna be.
Yeah, but Twin Sanity. I was gonna say Twin Sanity was rushed.
We'll
doesn't
get
mean
there.
It's not a good game.
We'll get there. But,
If we lived in an alternate universe where Twin Sanity actually was a finished game, then yes,
fuck,
it
I
would
want to go to that universe.
But it did it had an ending, so of course it's finished. Why say?
No, Kevin. What I mean by
It's
what I
gutted.
mean by like.
Let's save that for when we
Yeah,
actually
like-
talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get to Twin Sanity when we get to Twin Sanity.
The last thing I want to talk about Crash 3. Has anybody tried the new Game Plus glitch?
No.
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 Okay, so you know how like they play like demos after you see the title screen?
Yeah.
If you hold down L1 and R1 when it's going to the airplane demo, you actually take control of the demo, and if you leave the level, you will start the game completely from the beginning, but you have all the power-ups.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, see, glitches like that makes the game like more interesting now, isn't it?
Yeah. I do it all the time nowadays.
Oh my god, you cheating bastard!
I know, right? Hey, going through the game with the speed shoes is just great.
You're just saying that because you can finish it faster.
Yes.
I would say for the record, everything that's in my insanely perfect relic section right now, that could go in any order.
I thought you were going to say anything in my insanely perfect tier list that is objectively right.
No,
So far it's perfect.
So far, everybody has the same like opinions right now.
In any order.
Well, I have a Crash 3 on A tier though. That's the only
Oh,
way.
okay.
I do
No.
too.
All 3 of these could be like my favorite though. All
So
three
far,
that are
so
in my-
so far, these three are like.
I still think 3 is better than 1 and 2, despite like the vehicle levels.
Despite Noah's opinions.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to
Well, we'll get
Sonic.
to
Ooh, can we? Let's get
Crash
to this,
4.
this next one.
All right, 3,
Crash
2,
4.
1, go.
Wait, why isn't it moving for me?
I don't know. It's glitch.
Let's say A tier.
I don't- Why?
Yeah,
Why is this not moving?
I already know which one is Noah's because I can see it's the only one that's on S tier.
Oh, okay. Here
It's
we
not the
go.
only one on S tier, you high
No,
fuck.
no, no, no. I mean, like, it's the only. You're the only person that put it on S tier.
Oh, yeah, because I don't care about 100%ing it.
Well, I'm sorry.
Neither do
Like,
I.
here's the thing, my guy. When you're cursed like me, and you feel like an obligation has to be met by getting everything,
And that's your fucking problem.
I want. Yeah, of course, it's my fucking problem.
It has amazing levels, a great story, playable characters that are all great, except for Cortex. He's great to play as, but damn it, does he have shit levels at the end.
Oh
But-
my god,
yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yes.
Dude,
But
like,
Dingle Dog's amazing!
Yeah,
Dude,
Dingle
like,
Dog's great.
He's
So-
dingalicious!
my thing,
I want
the thing
Dingle
about
Dick.
the thing about Crash 4 is that like it has some high highs, but then it has some low lows, and most of the the low lows stems not just by completionism,
The
but just
low lows are optional, though.
the low. Well, not the okay. The
Wait,
low
we're not
lows
gonna
are
talk about
optional,
gameplay
but
either.
the low
We're talking
lows
about
are
Cortex
still
and
low
Dingo.
lows. They're still low lows.
So the game is beautiful. It
Yes.
has an
Yeah.
awesome story.
Yep.
My favorite story in the franchise.
Keep
Oh,
going.
no.
I jerk off to the graphics.
I love.
It's
the
like you're watching a
costumes.
movie.
I love the variety and level locations and all that.
I'm
And I love the characters, love the interactions, the flashback tapes that add all sorts of lore to the series.
The really hard
All that.
flashback tapes levels.
Yeah, even though they can be really hard and
Yeah, but
frustrating at
that's-
times, they're
Yeah,
still
but that's the best. That's the best thing
Great.
about the game.
And
No, the costumes are.
Dingo Dial is my favorite of the guys that is
Yep.
not Crash and Coco.
Mhm.
Me
Dingo
too.
Dial's my favorite to use. And
So
even
is
though
mine.
Cortex is my favorite character, he is also my least favorite to use because his levels are kind of
I don't
It's
like.
not Cortex's problem. It's not his fault. It's the fucking like levels that like the way it's designed.
If
Even-
the way
if
it's
he had like the
operated,
first
so
level
dumb.
and the No Way Out level, those are great levels. It's just they fall off a fucking cliff later on. But
Yeah.
What am I? Fucking Bandicoot.
however, I would give him the silver medal because I don't like how Tana is
I think
essentially.
it's fun.
I don't like how Tana is essentially Crash and Coco again, but we have
But she doesn't spin, man.
QT sensitive action or whatever the fuck Conqueror calls
Yeah, but
it.
She doesn't like spin. Like she.
She essentially spins. She has the spin kick from Wrath of Cortex from Coco.
I was gonna make that comparison.
I will
Just
say, though,
She
Yeah,
really
she
is
got
Coco
that
from
little-
Wrath of Cortex, only she has a grappling hook.
And, yeah, the grapple
will
looks
say
fun to
this.
use too.
It's too automated for me.
Fun overall.
okay, let me just say,
And you get to look like her back the entire time.
I mean, that's a that. Anyway, what were you saying, Eli?
this game wouldn't be such a pain to get 100% in if it wasn't for the fact that in almost every freaking level of the game they hide at least one box somewhere.
Yeah,
Like
so
I
hard to-
agree.
in a hard to see spot.
That's why one only gripe about it. Why it's not S tier for me. Like it's
Yeah,
A by the
same.
way. If you see
Yeah,
it.
it's not
It's
easy to get the
S tier.
box gem.
It-
Yeah,
It's the worst game ever when it comes to like 100%ing and completing everything on it. It's such a
I wouldn't agree with that,
It's worth
but
anyone's time.
Well, it's
The thing
because
is,
they
it-
do it too much. They do the whole hidden boxes thing too much. They
And
only
even-
did it like
I would
few and far
counter.
between in the original trilogy.
yeah.
But like
Like,
in
I'll-
here, they
I'll
do
hear
it
no-
almost every single level.
I would
I don't know
counter.
his take on this, but then
I would
I'll-
counter
I'll-
that with it's kind of like the box in Cold Hard Crash from Crash 2. Is that yeah, that hidden box is bullshit, but once you know it's there, it's like stamped into your memory. You will always know it's
Yeah,
there.
but that's one level out of like
I know.
freaking. The
that's
first
why-
level starts you out with like 100
That's why I'm not calling you guys fucking idiots because it's multiple levels instead of one.
Yeah.
I could just
Like,
call you
I am
mild
calling
idiots.
Even the first
fucking
level has a
idiots.
hidden box. That's so
I am
ridiculous.
calling you guys
But my-
fucking idiots for
but-
saying that is your problem.
It's just that it might take once I know where the hidden box is, I will always know. Like those stupid boxes in the tires in the first desert level, like
Oh,
that sucks.
Oh.
But it sucks so much. Now that I know where they are, I will never forget about it.
the ones like behind the steps in
Oh my
When it
god,
hides.
that level was fucking nasty when it comes to hiding stuff. Like you have to find a switch behind a barrel that you can barely see. Then you have to go backwards and move. You have to tilt the camera all the way to the bottom right just to see the platform, and then you have to slide jump onto that platform to get the gem.
Like even if like
they
the
go
boxes.
too far with the secrets.
Yeah,
Even
I'll
if
agree
the
with that.
boxes are like, even if the boxes were like very well designed or whatever, like the problem, another issue that I have is that this game is like, again, maybe this is the completionist thing, and apparently it's my fucking problem. But no, the level gets repetitive when you have to go for all the gems, especially with the 3 deaths or less gem. And then they have the inverted stages, which are basically the same thing except
Yeah.
chippier.
I
And it's
Here's what I think. I think inverted should have been its own separate file to do, like a whole
a new game
adventure
plus or
file with-
something.
Yeah, like
You
a
know,
new game plus.
is it just me, or like I know this is off topic, but is it just me, or is like the first boss fight with Cortex way harder than it is in the final one?
No.
I think so.
About the same, I guess.
Yeah, they're about the
No,
same.
no, like, that first Cortex fight is way harder than that.
Nah, you have the time mask.
Yeah, but even with the time mask, it's like freaking complicated, and you have to like know when it's coming.
I only died once on my first time.
I mean,
And
they give you a checkpoint every time you
You get a point,
Yeah,
yeah.
get a hit on the boss. So
Granted,
I know-
but
and I know
it's
the-
still
I know the
really
option-
annoying to deal with.
I know the optional stuff is, well, optional, but like it's still like in the game. And I remember, and like optional stuff has never really been so tedious to go through in any other Crash game, maybe with the only exception being Crash
Exactly.
Bash. But it's like, Crash 4, like you have so like, and then they do the fucking perfect like relic, it's not a relic, it's like a perfect run of the game.
The
where you
insanely
have to beat the
perfect
entire-
relic.
the perfect relic, where you have to beat the entire game, the entire level without dying, breaking all the boxes and all this bullshit just to get the actual full completionist. And this is the only game in the series where you have to get platinum to get the completionist. And
Yeah,
also,
that sucks, yeah.
And then also-
the time trials are horrible in this game.
They are.
And what
They
was
got
that-
rid of the
what
crash
was that
dash
really-
for
I hate
stupid
the time
spin.
Oh yeah, no crash dash also. No crash dash. And then the one fucking level that made me quit. I swear to God when I tell you that I have yet to quit any other Crash game quicker than this one. If it weren't for that fucking polar bear level.
Which is
If it
fixed
wasn't
now.
for
No, the one
If it
that
wasn't for
made
the
me
fact-
really like infuriated was like the final level for the
Cortex
final
Castle?
fight. Yes.
Cortex Castle was amazing.
I'm gonna say Cortex Castle wasn't
so
so
ridiculously hard though.
I
okay,
know,
hard, but
but I
like,
crave
one-
that
one-
challenge.
Okay, but that one I actually didn't mind. I didn't think Cortex Castle was that bad. It's just like the fucking. I'm trying to remember what was that polar bear level called again. I forget.
Bears
Uh,
repeating.
Bears repeating. I despise that one.
But they patched that though.
Okay, supposedly they
That's
patched
because
it, but I've been gone for a while. I need to get back.
Bad.
I've been gone for the game for a while, so
Yeah,
I need to get back
if
into
you
it, and
if you
then-
play it again, your opinion will change.
yeah,
They
I
made
hope
the
so, because
they made the hitbox bigger, so yeah, I did on my. Let me put it in perspective. I could never, ever get the fucking the flashback tape on there because I kept.
oh my god,
But
yeah, I remember that.
however, because the hitbox is bigger, I actually did it. Like on my first try. Trust me, it's way better now.
Alright, I'll have to get back into the game. It's been a long ass time since I played it. It's because of that level that made me quit, basically.
If it wasn't,
You know
for,
what? You know
if it
the
wasn't
one.
for how, I'm sorry. Do you want to go first, guy?
Oh, it's very short. You want to know what really downgrades it for being like the perfect Crash game is like the lack of characters that I feel.
Aside from everything we just said.
No, it's like the lack of characters that were like not in it. Like whereas Qualicon, the Komodo Brothers.
You're just
Uh,
mad because Tiny's not in this.
That's kind of nitpicking, honestly. They clearly wanted to go with a theme, and the theme was all the scientists.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is, like, with all the Crash villains, like, it doesn't make sense why Tiny and Dingo Dao always stuck with the villains because everybody else before, like, lived on their own lives. Like, they do their own things. Like, even Crash Team Racing kind of tells you what they're doing. Like,
yes,
for like
I
a
agree with
continuation, for a proper continuation for 3, I think it makes sense why Tiny and Dingo Dao fall into that same category of. They may be creations, they may be abominations of Cortex, but they can do their own thing. If I want to open a diner, I'm opening a diner.
that.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I would have liked to see what Tiny's been up to, or a bit after that, but that's about it, really. I don't think I can deduct points because
No.
X, Y, and Z character were not in the
But
game.
I could take a
because he was like in a relationship with Tana.
I could
least they-
take a 0.1 point away because Ripperoo was going to be in the game as a playable character, but they cut him.
That
And
would
It's
great to
gonna
play
be a boss.
Ripperoo.
I thought it was going to be a boss at least. I
No,
mean,
no,
like
no.
playable
He was
character,
going to have a playable character. He was going to have 4
But
levels.
no, we have a sub boss, Louise.
Yeah, he was actually going to be the boss in that one.
The most
And then
forgettable
And then
boss
he was
ever.
going to have his own world where one of it was going to be that parade level, and his boss fight would have been the reptile Brio, and that explained why he was in the museum in the epilogue.
yeah. Didn't he also make a cameo in that level too?
Yeah, he did. That's where you would have
Yeah,
been playing the
yeah.
level.
Fake Crash
Yeah.
also makes a cameo, and
Yeah, Fake Crash was one of
Right
this is a
behind.
cameo, one of the surfing ones, surfing
Yeah.
level.
Oh yeah. But he was a costume, so I don't think he would have
Yeah,
had
he's a
his own
costume.
levels or
I
something.
love how there's a fake Coco now.
Yeah,
Oh god, that looks ugly though.
I love
Yeah,
I
like
love the
too.
costumes in this game.
Well, I mean, Fake Crash doesn't look pretty either, Kevin.
I know.
What? Yeah, Fake Crash is
Kid,
pretty.
what are you talking about? He's a beautiful boy.
Yeah, but the way to get them is kind of annoying though.
It didn't bother me. You just needed a certain amount of gems from each
If it
level.
wasn't, if it
Like,
wasn't
you
for
could
the
have,
top-
like, the early levels, you could just, if you're good enough, all the gems would get them. If you're not, you can just do the inverted levels. You just need to get as much Wampa Fruit as you can, and then boom, you got them.
If it wasn't for the time trials and the hidden boxes, like the huge amount of hidden boxes that are in almost every level, this would definitely be my favorite Crash game because like everything
Yeah.
else is just so good.
I still think
but
four.
this
I
definitely-
still think 4 is better than the first 3.
Because I even like love the humor. Like I love the whole the guy that does like the disclaimer for Dingo's Diner.
Yeah.
Dingo's Diner.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
so
it's like-
funny.
This game has a lot of personality.
Please, for the love of God, don't eat here.
This is a lot. This game had a lot of.
I love I love at the end of the credits, he goes, "All right, I'm ready to go again." The story of this game is 100% canonical, unless you didn't like it. In that case, it was all a dream.
I know. It's so good.
It's so funny.
Like that game had a lot I think that's a
Yeah.
So much charm into it.
I
Right,
just
but
And I
yeah.
love Crash himself. Crash himself is great in the game too. It's like so much more expressive, and
yeah.
you really get a sense of his
And
character with the
apparently he
game.
has a real voice
Yeah.
But
that he's hiding
And with
from
Cortex,
everybody.
I love how they portray Cortex too. They actually make him a threat again. They don't make him like
Yeah.
kind of a joke like he was in some of the games before this.
Right,
not,
yeah.
not counting the remakes.
yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a joke.
So I'm gonna
He's a
wrap.
little bit of a
I'm gonna
joke
wrap
stuff.
up my point for why Crash 4 is the best Crash game in my opinion. Is that we brought up a lot of problems with the game, which I hope they fix in Crash 5. Otherwise, that's gonna be a fucking perfect game right there.
I hope they make Crash 5.
Oh, they will. They will. But the reason why I still say Crash 4 is the best Crash game is because everything we talked about is completely optional. You don't have to do it. And yes, Mark said, like, there's a bug in him that's like, I need to get everything. But, like, the gems get you costumes. And if you don't need to get the box gem, it would help if you got the box gem, but you don't need it to get the costumes. Like, there's other gems to get. You got the you got the flashback tapes, which gets you more levels, and by the end of the flashback tapes, you get a brand new costume. The relics don't get you anything, so there's no point to even attempt. The insanely perfect relics don't give you anything, so there's no point in attempting.
I
So
would probably forgive the time trials if it wasn't for the fact that platinum relics are now required for completion.
Yeah, that's a really
yeah,
solid-
but here's the
That's
difference though. It's only a problem if Crash 3 did. If the Insane Trilogy was like get all the platinums, that's a problem because getting the relics unlocks levels. Well, getting any relic unlocks levels, but getting gold or higher in the original is to get a gem. What if the Insane
Yeah,
Trilogy
extra
made it
gem.
platinum or higher? The Crash 4, the relics don't get you a hidden gem. They don't get you anything. That's the difference.
Okay, speaking, I hate to go off topic here, but speaking of which, there's something I forgot to mention about the Insane Trilogy. I love the extra levels they added in. I love
Oh,
Stone
yeah.
Descent, like how
The
it was like
scrap
hard. It was
level,
hard, but
yeah.
it was the fun kind of hard. And I love how
Yeah.
creative they got with the Future Tense, the other bonus level. That was like such a creative level. It's like, oh,
You can
yes,
see it was very
So good.
tense.
We're moving on
Okay.
now.
Okay.
All right, tag team racing. 3, 2, 1,
Boy.
go.
Oh boy. Mm,
You guys are too kind. You're too kind.
Wait, what do you?
Puts
I
that
guess.
D.
Two people are being too kind to the game.
I don't know. I mean,
Which one's this
Okay,
one?
so we got.
Me,
Wait, who-
Kevin, we're banding
Okay,
together here.
Wait, what? Oh my God! No, okay, it's right. It's right.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't.
Okay, he has
to be
it on-
honest, I haven't
all
played
right,
much of
well,
tag team racing, so that's why my thing is so low. Like it's one I haven't played a whole lot of, so I can't really say much.
Well, you should probably put it in
But,
never played then.
Well, I did play. I played a little bit of it.
All right, yeah,
I
fair.
played like a good chunk of it. But
God, this game is
So-
it's so close to being D tier or F tier, whatever.
I mean, I do like Chicken Stew. Like I think they're good characters. And
No,
Pasadena,
they're the only good. They're the only good new characters in that game.
No, I'd say Pasadena Opossums.
Yeah.
She was in that game. Fuck.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where she started. That's the only
To be
game she's
honest,
in.
to be honest with you, I still never really gave a shit about her either.
I hated Clutch and like that bumper for
Yeah.
guy.
Really
I didn't mind
Hated
Clutch. I hated the Wumper for guy
also,
though.
Engine is broken. Engine is broken in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I tried this game like in a club, a video game club in high
This is
school.
definitely the weakest of the racing
No
games.
buenos, man. No buenos.
This is definitely the
Mm.
weakest of the racing games.
The only reason why I don't have it D tier or woe or which is like shit tier is pretty much like just because like the roster is so limited. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And it controls really awkwardly.
It's
I mean,
not
shooting people is fun. I'll granted that. I like shooting the people, like the race.
I like shooting the people. Fuck the
Well, that's pretty
people.
much it. That's the only thing about it.
Like
Yeah.
Cat Icarus says, it's Mario Kart Double Dash, but for war criminals.
Kevin, confirm war criminal.
And for adventure mode, or story mode, if you will, they tried doing it like the original Crash way,
Yeah,
which I didn't really find that interesting. I wasn't very keen on it.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
just didn't fit.
I love it.
It's just a Mario Kart Double Dash clone, except just cornier and not. It's just it just exists.
Yeah.
There's not really much to. I don't really have a whole.
like
I don't really have a whole lot to say about the game. Is the thing. It's just like
the
a.
worst
It's
Crash racing game I've ever played.
I would just say it's a mediocre game at best, but I still can't call it good either.
Like shooting people and Pasadena was like the ones that really saved it from D tier for me.
That's still D tier, in my opinion.
I already enjoy playing Pasadena in Nitro Field, so.
I'm not a furry, so that's why I'm
I
not.
guess the stage is mine now because I have some stuff to say.
Yeah, fair.
You don't like the hub worlds. I love them. I love exploring the hub worlds. I love meeting the people and getting costumes from them or power crystals. I really did like exploring the worlds and finding secrets. The dioramas, the gags, secret shortcuts for certain tracks. I just liked exploring the world, and I got to play this game multiplayer with like my cousin and my sister way back in the day, and it was so much fun. It is such a fun multiplayer experience.
Okay.
It's such a fun multiplayer experience. But the reason why it doesn't go any higher than it does is for the sole reason that the main racing is not good.
Yeah, it's definitely the weakest of the racing games, of the Crash racing games. Like, No question.
You know, one positive thing I can say that I actually enjoyed were like the death animations. Like they made cutscenes of Crash dying in different ways. Although I'm not sure if that's like the only thing that's keeping me from actually like not being dead on the inside with a little bit of humor, or the fact that I'm just enjoying Crash Bandicoot getting tortured to death. Does that make me sick?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I
But
think I
yeah,
should check
like
myself.
I encourage you guys to try playing this multiplayer because it's so much fun to be like you just like clash with one of your buddies and just shoot the fuck out of everybody else and then just be like, I'm gonna ditch your ass, fuck you, bye.
It's like saying like, you know, I have fond memories of fucking motor combat, but I'm still not gonna give Armageddon the path.
Why not?
Because Motor Combat's one thing. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just dead inside.
Alright.
I don't know.
Oh, we'll get to Mortal Kombat when we get to it.
I don't know, dude. Like, I just can't really get back into this game. I don't think it really controls all
No,
that good.
I'm never coming back to it at all. I had no
It's
interest.
just, yeah. And as for like which racing game, I would much. I think I had more fun playing Nitro Kart, and I have issues with that game too. But it's like,
Oh
I don't know.
my
There's
God.
like-
Nitro Kart is infinitely better than this game. Without a shot of a doubt.
don't you me? I mean, like.
No, don't you?
We'll get to Nitro Kart in a bit, but now let's get to the unless there's any more closing thoughts with
No,
with
I would-
Crash
Hold on
with
a
Crash
second.
Bandicoot Double Dash.
Yeah, give me
Nah.
1 second. I need
I
to-
swear, I think I am going too easy on Tattoo Racing.